start this somehow. Welcome back to ILR2. This time we are around 10 for Britain. I am here with my co-commentator slash main commentator slash soup caller.
Hello there. Yeah,
How are you
I'm
today?
here. It's unlike me. I'm here for once. Taking a jab at myself there. Yeah. It's Britain! Yay!
The home race for many of these drivers. Only a few are. Actually, no, I think this has got the most diverse grid, I think, in terms of nationality.
I would just point out that do not say that it's Andy's or Paul's home Grand Prix, because they will probably get triggered.
So it's Andy and Paul's home Grand Prix this time round.
Oh, and Aiden too. Don't forget about Aiden.
And Aiden's as well, who haven't seen much of him since Monaco.
Right, so there's that.
So are you well rested today, Soup?
Yeah, but I'm very cold. It's very cold. It snowed quite a lot
isn't
here.
very good. Not at all.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Everybody else is in the pits, and who comes out?
Paul McGuinness.
Yeah, and Flexi. Oh, great.
M2 want to avoid a massive disaster for this race.
Yeah, we've already put a bet on how far Flexi's going to get today.
I say turn one.
Brandon reckons turn one. I'm being optimistic and saying cops. But we haven't actually said that he's going to make a lap. Gonna point that out.
Yeah, well, he's coming in for a disaster of Azerbaijan out lap 2, Austria out lap 1, turn 1, so he ain't been exactly gone far in recent Grand Prix.
Yeah. I just noticed that there's about 4,000 between 5th and 6th.
It's very close, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, first is distance to second, and then you've got like second to 8th, which is only like 3/10 between each other. So it's going to be very close indeed. And just want to point out, Paul is coming off a win in Austria from last place up into first. So maybe if he starts last this time round, he could get another great result. Who knows?
Right. Well, how about we actually take an on-board lap with Flexi? He goes on down towards Abbey in turn 1 in Silverstone. It's flat out in these brand new cars, so he's going to ride it out right to the curb before we head into the arena section right here. Hard on the brakes, get it turned in. Very nicely done indeed. The Renault seems to have a good front end going through the arena section. Then we go down towards Brooklands then. You'll see it on the right-hand side. It's actually written in plain black letters. It's there, Brooklands on your right-hand side. And then we're going to head into Luffield after that. So down to... Yeah, it is there. There, a bit of trivia. So into Luffield. Big, long right-hander. Tough to get right. Gets it very nicely done indeed before we head to Cops Corner, which is pretty spectacular in these brand new cars. So just going to watch here as Sam's going to flick right into Cops. Absolutely flat out. No sign of a lift there. Before we come to Maggots, Beckett's and Abbey. In we go. And he's wrestling that car through Maggots, Beckett's and into Abbey, just like a morbidly obese child is tugging at his mother's coat because he wouldn't buy him a donut. And down towards Stowe for Sam. And he's going to complete a nice lap of Silverstone. It's actually very smooth. He's been through this lap before we head to the last section here. Very hard braking. Gets it nicely turned in before we head into Club Corner, which is the final corner. Now, let's see how far he can get himself up the grid here. Let's watch, and he'll go into second. Ooh, good lap. Front row start for him.
Well, that's already faster than everyone from second downwards in ILR3.
Yeah.
Placing quite confidently in the top 10, I think, of ILR1 as well. So that was a decent lap. That was a very decent lap.
Paul McGuinness went 4th as well. For his. And that'll be a yellow because Sam's pulled off the side of the tyre. Paul's looks like he's retiring as well.
Just looking around to see who's on our lap and who isn't.
Yeah, I just want to see how Andy gets on because he's right down 16th.
I think he's just started his lap. I do believe so.
Yeah, he usually leaves it to last minute to do his... He cut the corner there. Naughty boy. He cut the corner there as well. Naughty boy.
Gotta make as much time as you can.
Yep. Well, it didn't give him a penalty. It looks like. Even still, he should have enough time to go for another one if he needs it.
I don't think so. He's only got 30 seconds left of this, so this is his one
He
lap.
might just make it. He's got a Spaniard in front of him. That's never good. Here we go. Clouts the curb and he goes third. So
I did not know where he was on the track. I actually thought he was in Brooklands for a second. I am stupid.
Yeah, I just took it in my stride. But yeah, it's qualifying's over actually, so it's Matt, Sam, and Andy.
Currently sitting up there. Oh
yeah.
no, I was right.
Oh,
sorry,
Corey out of nowhere.
I am watching Aiden. Sorry, I was watching Aiden. I thought he was in Brooklands, and he said someone finished the lap as he went round the old start-finish line straight.
Yeah.
So it really made me confused on who you were watching for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jor goes fourth. Corey went P2. He's on the front row. Andy is sticking in behind George, and he's getting a little bit impeded, I think. That might be a problem. Oh, Matthew went fourth. Matthew goes fourth there by a couple of thousandths. So suddenly everyone's gone into the 27s.
It's looking very tight still up there.
Yeah, well, Matt's done. George went wide out of Stowe. Oh, he's hit him! Oh, no. Oh.
I'm stuck on the matter. What happened? I was swapping through the cars. And
yeah, going through the last section there, Andy locked up and went straight on into George, who is starting 13th, which is actually his race number. So there you go. It's actually Pastor Maldonado's number, and if you've ever heard George talk, he sounds exactly like Pastor Maldonado.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds?
I swear to God.
So we're just waiting for Paul and Scott to retire. Only
yeah,
a
they're
second.
in the bottom of the pits.
9 tenths separate 1st and 15th, with Jamie putting a 128.4 on the soft tyres.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Poor Carl down there behind Jamie. Oh dear.
Disaster class. Yeah. And if you're wondering where Tom is, he's got a qualifying ban, that's why he didn't put in a lap. And Billy has a race ban. That's why he's not here.
It's Me also has a race ban.
Yeah.
As we're just watching a Williams trundle around forever.
And we're watching a milkman push a Toro. Oh, is he pushing Jamie down the straight? Oh, he is as well.
Jamie needs all the help he can get. Oh, there's a Toro. Oh, dear.
Oh.
I've just watched that in the background. That Merc is inside that Toro Rosso. They're getting a bit close for comfort right there.
Is there a bit of secrecy going on between Andy and Jamie? You want to admit to something, boys?
Behind everyone's back, they're secretly plotting something.
Oh, there's a Toro Rosso in the wall! I don't know who that is. If that's Jamie, I'm gonna laugh. But, yeah.
So,
wow, that's how close it was. 3800ths.
It's going to be a very tight race indeed. Everyone very close to one another in race pace, and this is going to be, as long as they keep out of each other and the incidents to a bare minimum, I think this would be a very, very entertaining race indeed.
I hope so.
Cars, a lot of battling could happen.
Because I think last season this was actually the first race.
I think it was second. I think
first or second. Oh no, it was Australia and then like Britain after that or something.
Yeah. There we go. Skip.
I actually came. I think I came in Austria. It was like round 4.
I believe it's looking to be dry.
That's surprising.
That is indeed for the British Grand Prix. It's not normally dry. It's normally as wet can be. And it is an entirely dry race, just seen on the weather forecast entirely dry with just a bit of cloud.
How's the championship looking right now?
I will now actually look that up, as once the formation lap happens, you can cycle through who's on the
Yep.
who's on the grid.
Actually, I will do that. I forgot to check how the championship is because It's Me isn't racing, so yeah.
We can chuck it right open. There's a now
formation lap. Matt leads the pack away in the Red Bull, followed by Corey in the Force India. Then we have Sam lining up on row 2 with Matthew, and that was Andy was actually pushing Matthew down the straight for reference. I was checking helmets. That was actually Jamie in the wall. Giroru P5 then, Andy P6, and looks like he's not going for something like a ridiculous strategy here. He's just going with the flow. Aidan Griffiths P7, we have Luke in P8, we have Matt P9 and Paul McGuinness in 10th. Then we have Forzetics in P11, who's actually going to start on the mediums, so we'll keep an eye on him. So he's going for a long one. Joker P12, George also going on mediums, Nicola also going to go on mediums, Jamie's going on softs, Carl on soft tyres, and Tom down the back, because of his quality ban, he's going to start on the soft tyres as well. So, bit of a mix, but the top 10 look like they're all starting on supers.
I don't think
and outside of that we have... yeah, and let's just see. We should be able to get the tyre data up just quickly.
Scott, George, Nicola on mediums. Jamie, Cole, Tom all on softs, and then the rest on super softs. So a mixture of some strategies.
Because like there isn't really any other strategy. Because as you said, every other race at Silverstone in ILR3, ILR2, or ILR1, sorry, have all been won on the exact same strategy. So I don't think they really have a choice.
Yeah. The standings currently, It's Me is leading with Giroru, Phil, Paul McGuinness. Paul McGuinness to Giroru,
what's the point gap
between them? 35 points between first and second.
Right, so that gap could really come down then, because It's Me is not here.
If Giroru wins, he'll be right up there. Then that's
championship comes alive pretty much.
Most definitely.
Alright then, well, I think they're almost ready to go then. Yep, we are going to go to 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix in ILR2. And it's lights out, and away we go. Matt gets away, Corey gets away well, and it's going to be Matt going into turn 1, but it's going to be Matthew who's going to be looking up into 3rd place. He's got past one of the Haas cars there. There's a couple of cars going wide, but they've all got through relatively cleanly. So it's Corey from Giroru, from Matthew, who's actually lost a place back to Giroru there, and Matt's now beginning to start challenging for second. Got a yellow flag there. Somebody's gone off in the background.
Andy has gone.
Yeah,
there is a lot of
so not entirely clean, but how's Sam getting on? He made past turn 1. He's made it past turn 1. Now here we go. Corey and Matt Giroru looking up the inside into Lovefield. We're on board with Sam as we watch the battle up ahead. Will Flexi make it through Cops? Let's ride on board and find out. It's Giroru and Matt side by side into Cop's corner. This could be messy, and he backs. There's contact and around. How has he held that together? Oh no!
Matthew is in the wall.
Matthew in the wall.
Front wing.
And Luke's up to 4th. Luke is in 4th after all of that. What on earth has gone on? Luke's gone from 8th to 4th in 1 lap. Paul McGuinness is 6th and starting to challenge Giroru now. Matt's 7th, Aidan in 8th, Nicola in 9th, and here's that's Tom already up into P10. He's looking around the outside into Stowe alongside Jamie. Let's watch if he can get that move done. That is a super move around the outside into Stowe corner. He's going to complete that move down the inside into the village section. That is incredible stuff. Jamie's still on the inside as we come to club corner. Tom's still on the outside line. There's still side by side, and Tom's got the move done. Superb stuff. I think an Overtake of the Year nomination right there.
Definitely, that was a well thought battle.
Superb.
Just around
And
the
actually,
outside.
oh,
And never mind. Jamie's
Oh.
gone. That's Toro Rosso. Good
Yeah,
night,
that's-
sweet prince.
Good night and God bless. That is it.
Well, he didn't. That battle caused him to die painfully.
Yep. Well, Flexi's has actually done a lap.
My
Would you
word.
believe? My word, indeed.
So
Luke's in fourth. I don't know how he's there, but he is there. And championship leader, championship runner-up currently, Jor is currently fifth. But as long as he's in the points, he'll close the gap up. So everybody's relatively close together at this point. Andy's made up a few spots back up to where he was. He's in 13th, challenging Carl right now into Maggots and Beckett. So we've had a change. Luke's got... Oh, we've got another Toro Rosso in the wall. That's Matthew. Or somebody. That's somebody... No, sorry, it's Aidan Griffiths in the Ferrari. He's in the wall.
Oh, no. Oh.
It's... Where's he... Oh, he's gone off at... Abbey. Oh, here we go. We got a few moves happening. Paul McGuinness on Luke down the inside into the village section, and he has got that move done. Nice and slick, and Aidan Griffiths is out of the British Grand Prix. But meanwhile, Corey is at the front at his home Grand Prix, leading in a British-owned team, where their base is only a few miles down the road, actually.
Really?
Force India team. Yeah, I think so. A lot of the teams are based here, like Force India, McLaren, Red Bull. I think there's a few other. Williams are here as well. I don't think Luke is. Yeah, yeah.
I thought Luke's not close enough. Nah, he's not going to be.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make a move, but Paul also has DRS.
Oh, Tom's making a move down on Nicolo, down his inside, up into P8.
Yeah, nice move. So he's making gains. And he might have George. No, Nicolo's trying to put it up the inside. He's going to get his line compromised there as we run down towards Cops for the third time. And he might have George for company very shortly. The Spaniard who always cut the... Oh my goodness me! Heart and mouth moment. He was complete sideways going through Cops corner, and now he's got the milkman on his behind.
Oh dear. Will
And
anyone
just for reference, that is...
make him... You can carry on. Sorry. Did not mean
no,
to.
it's fine.
Sorry, I was just rambling.
Oh, you love to ramble.
Unfortunately, yes.
So do I. Right, Matt is now up on
George ran
behind
outside
Luke.
of Nicolo. Going down into Vale Club. He's managed to make the move on Nicolo.
Oh, Andy!
And Andy down the inside of Club. Side by
not
side.
Quite.
Ooh. Nah, he's
had to back out of that one. But he's on super soft versus mediums. This shouldn't be too hard of a move. He's going to launch it down the inside into the arena section. Nicely done. Not even a lockup, but Nicolo's still on the inside, and he'll have the advantage going towards Brooklands. He'll try and get the cutback. Nicolo goes a little bit sideways coming out of there, so he'll have DRS for his troubles, as will Nicolo. But as we run down to Brooklands, let's see who gets the advantage. It's a tough corner to make a move, but Andy's going to try it down the inside, late on the brakes, and he's going to go a bit wide though. So Nicolo's going to capitalise and we go to Luffield. Then he's still there on the outside, but he's going to have to back out of that one, and Andy gets into 10th place.
That was a very, very well fought move again, I guess. Nicolo fighting as ever hard as he could, trying to capitalise on Andy's mistake of going in too deep. Just couldn't make the run on the mediums, just didn't have enough grip.
So right now Corey's about 2 seconds clear of Matt, but Flexi is staying within DRS range of Matt. So let's see if he can put in a masterclass instead of a disaster class today. Also, Paul McGuinness starting to challenge Giroru now as well.
I think that's Matthew's day done and finished. Both Toro Rossos looking to want to forget this day. British Grand Prix is not one for them, I'm afraid.
So currently George is starting to pull time on Matt as well, so this could be a good points haul for Tom today if he can keep up this form.
Indeed.
So now I think Flexi's getting very close to the back of Matt now, because Matt is dropping back from Corey and isn't getting the benefit of DRS, whereas Sam is. So this could be interesting. We'll also keep an eye on Paul McGuinness, who's also trying to make a move on the Portuguese man Giroru.
Oh,
Got a yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, it's Matt. It's Matt. So George goes past along with Andy, and Niccolo goes through as well.
Doesn't look like he has damage. I think he might have just spun off the curb.
Yeah, easy done there in Luffield.
As we go back on for the battle between Matt and Flexi.
Yeah, I think something's coming in the next lap or so, because he's closer than he has been in the past couple of laps. He's going to gain a lot of time. He's going to be in rich mix down in towards Stowe. But I think he might have to wait a little while longer.
We might as well point out
nice and close.
That this is Flexi. Flexi's had more race time in this race than he has his previous 2 races combined.
Well, and that is... he hasn't managed to do 1 lap in the past couple of races, correct?
He managed to get up to lap 2 on Azerbaijan before crashing out.
Well, it's a record then. He's got to lap 6 in this one. And he's starting to challenge for second now. So then, Matt is in for a front wing change, so must have had damage. So then Matt is starting to go a little bit defensive versus Sam now. But once you get this close, it's going to be hard to avoid the dirty air. So Flexi gets a good exit out of Luffield there, so he's going to be in the slipstream towards Cop's corner. Matt gets on the dirt there, and you can see him already kind of holding the middle of the road. And we're going to come through Cops for the 6th time. Relatively even exits from them both there. But let's see, it's the run through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel that's going to help, and Sam gets a much better run through there. Watch the oversteer, and he gets a very nice exit there. I think we could see a move here. DRS for Flexi here then. Let's watch as we come towards Stowe corner. It's going to be a hard one. He's going to try on the outside into Stowe corner around the outside. Is he going to do it? Tom did the same thing, and Andy's out. He's going around the outside. Sam, spectacular stuff. He's going to be on the inside into the village section. Matt's going to try and hold it on the outside, and Matt's going to try and hold on. He is going to hold on, but into club corner. Is he going to do it around the outside? They're still side by side as we run down towards Abbey. He's just about ahead. Who's going to have the balls? It's going to be Matt who's going to keep the throttle in. Nice, hard-fought battle there. So nice driving from the both of them there. Spectacular stuff.
I did not want to interrupt you at all for that. that was great running commentary on that battle. Side by side, entire last sector. That was
and just but while we were saying that, Andy's actually out of the race.
He must have crashed.
Yeah, he crashed somewhere. I don't know where he crashed.
No, he must have been near Cops because he wasn't too far behind that entire train.
And by the way, just because Flexi and Matt were battling, if you look behind, we've got Giroru and Paul McGuinness starting to close up now. So this could turn into a very tasty battle shortly. Bad run from Matt coming through Cops corner. He had to check up to Sam, and now Giroru has joined in the party. So now it's going to be a DRS train down towards Stowe corner. So let's see if Flexi can do the same thing. Matt's going to go defensive. Again, he's going to get the slipstream. Giroru is going to be watching in the background, hoping they crash in front of him, and he's going to try and ride the outside again. Goes late on the brakes, and once again, Matt's still there on the inside line. I think he's got the move done this time. Yes, he has, as Matt has come into the pit lane. And actually, Corey's in as well. Corey is in from the race lead, so that's going to put Giroru into P1. Sorry, Flexi into P1. So Flexi now leads the British Grand Prix from Giroru, from Paul McGuinness, from Luke. And now that puts Tom up into P5, and he has actually managed to catch Luke. He's right up at the top now, and he could get a podium if he continues like this.
Indeed he can.
Sector 2. Oh, Matt out. Gone. He's gone off a Cops. So same place Andy went off.
Into the wall. That's bad. That's bad.
So now we have a 3-way battle for the lead of this race. Flexi went wide coming into Brooklands there. Giroru is going to be challenging for sure.
Heads up
on this lap.
Corey and Matt have both pit onto medium, so they're looking to make them go far into the race.
Indeed, so we should see stops for these guys shortly. Tom should be able to stay out a bit longer because he owns soft. And here we go, Paul McGuinness into Maggots? Surely not. He's on the inside into Maggots and Beckett, and he's got the move done somehow. That's spectacular.
Well done, Paul.
Paul McGuinness, how on earth has he done that?
I think Giroud might have just backed out. He didn't want another incident with Paul after what happened in Baku. He didn't want another incident like that.
Yeah. And just to say, we might actually have a Wild Dutchman joining in shortly, along with Tom, who's going to stay out. All the leaders have pit, and believe it or not, from the back of the grid, Tom is going to lead the British Grand Prix. He's going to go a bit deeper into the race because he's on tyres, but now he leads after starting 17th on the grid.
That's pretty impressive, considering he was also only 5th come the first few pit stoppers, and 7th before anyone pit. So being very high up on the softs. Was he not 7th? I thought he was. He was around there.
Yeah. So Flexi comes out. Now what I'm going to be referencing is, where is Corey? He's going to come through. He's passed them all. So he's going to come back into what is virtually the race lead. So Flexi out on mediums. Paul out on mediums. They're all out on medium tyres, it looks like. So they're following suit in what ILR3 and ILR1 have done. So your running order after all the pit stops now is Tom, George, and Nicolo in P3, 1, 2, and 3. Carl in P4. Force Alex in P5, with Corey now in P6, but virtually the race lead, with Matt now P7. So actually Matt, after all of that, has actually managed to get back in front of Sam.
Scott's just following behind Carl, and Maggots and Beckett was looking to make a move, but he's just sticking behind him for now. Looking to make a run going onto the hangar straight out of Chapel.
Yep. With the DRS open, this should be a relatively easy move, but look at Carl defending to the outside, so he's going to give Scott the inside line. So let's watch. Can he try and hold it around the outside? We've seen plenty of people do that, and he is going to hold on to that, which gives him the inside line into the village section. But can Scott be a little bit crafty here and place his car on the outside, running into the inside into club corner, and he has got that move done. So nice, smart driving from Scott there.
Nicely done from the Ferrari. A lot of people like to make moves in that last sector at the moment in this race. It definitely seems to be a very favourite overtaking spot.
Yeah, which is actually kind of surprising me, because it isn't that easy to do. So right now Joker's in for his stop. Matthew is disconnected, but his AI is still running around. Luke now P11, Giroru P10, and he's now... This is essentially right now the battle for the podium spots is between Flexi, Paul, and Giroru, and technically Luke. And Luke's actually gone on to softs, so he's obviously doing super soft, super soft. So he's gone for a two-stopper.
He's hoping his pace at the end is faster than everyone else, it seems.
Yeah. And that, yeah.
I've just seen Matt, the undercut has seemed to pull Matt and Corey further ahead from Sam and the others. So the undercut seems to be working wonders at the moment, but will their tyre wear last for the end of the race with a very good pace is quite questionable at this moment.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, Silverstone's a very high tyre wear circuit because of its nature. Now, I think Paul McGuinness actually had a very, very poor run coming through Maggots and Beckett's there, so he's given the DRS to Paul McGuinness, or sorry, to Giroru there, down towards Stowe. So let's see if the Portuguese man can stay within touching distance of the Force India. Corey is setting the timing sheets alight on medium tyres, might I remind you, setting fastest laps. Now Luke should be the man to watch here, because he is on the soft tyres, which is going to mean he's going to have a pace advantage. So we'll see how that goes. So Sam has a little bit of breathing space there over Paul and Giroru and Luke. So Luke's going to have the benefit of a double tow down towards Brooklands. So I think the Dutchman could have a real shot here, if his pace holds up at the end, of course.
It's he can't be
Oh,
held
he's
up
there.
all
He's launching up the
he's
inside of
trying.
Giroru. What on earth is he doing? He's shoving his car, barging his way through past Giroru. He's not passed yet, but he is going to have a move, perhaps into Cop's corner. Surely not. No, he's have to back out of that one. He essentially barged his way past Giroru, and he's going to have a try and move into Maggots and Beckett. He's going to be alongside. Giroru's going to hold that inside line. Luke's going to try, but no. And that's lost Giroru time to Paul McGinn, so he's not going to be happy with Luke there.
Just seen at the top, George is also caught up to
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, so of course Tom started on those soft tyres. They're not going to be in the best shape. George started on mediums, so he might be able to go a little bit deeper than Tom. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on.
It's battle for a 10th though. Luke's backed off ever so slightly. I think he got a bit close for comfort. One of the braking zones is backed off ever so slightly.
Yep. This is actually, if you didn't know, Luke's favourite place, P11. He really liked it back last season in ILR1. For whatever reason, not too sure why.
Scored his first points, I believe, in Brazil in that
Yep.
season. Took him a very
I remember
long time.
that. I remember that very well. And that was also the day that Corey drove from last to win, I believe. It was incredible stuff. And that was also when the Champions League had disconnected off the grid because of the formation lap glitch and when he got a desync. Weird stuff.
Seems to have staled out a bit for the moment, with everyone having obviously pit stops and just sort of trying to manage a gap between one another. Just the pace is so even that once a gap forms, it's going to be very difficult for any of them to really make that gap back up.
Yeah. George is within 0.8 of a second ahead, but he's I find it hard to close that gap up, which is exactly what you're saying. The pace is so even.
Try and make a dive. No, he's going to stay behind. I keep forgetting. Luke Sawar, he says he doesn't like diving, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him in London a few times, especially earlier.
Yeah, he literally just did it at Luffield a lap ago.
Yeah, well, be quiet, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, you do the rest of it. Okay.
No.
I'm going to take a sip of water. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. Nice peace and quiet from Soup for a second as... Nothing happened. Oh, okay. Never mind, he's back.
Yeah.
It's just very stale at the moment. Like bread being left out for many days.
Yeah, many days.
Fun fact, if you leave a baguette out for too long, just in the air with no bag, you can use it as a weapon. It gets that stale.
I see. What I feel is that as if you had experience with that, and that's worrying me.
Well, you can use it as a weapon, but it'll crumble straight away, I think. Like, it just gets so hard that you
That
swing
sounds like a vague sexual innuendo. I'm not gonna lie. You leave your baguette out too long, it becomes so hard you can use it as a weapon. Moving swiftly on.
George is very close to.
Yeah, indeed.
top of
I saw the
12.
gap come. It was 0.3 that lap around. So he's definitely closing the gap. So definitely Tom is starting to struggle with tyre wear. You can see, if you're right on board with him, you can see on the left front tyre, you can see the blister running down the middle of it. Just check George's as well. His tyres look fairly clean right now, but then there's a very slight blister on the middle, but that's about it.
And he locks up into the field as well.
Commentator's curse. Giroru's caught back up to Paul as well. Now, of course, Tom wants to be very careful about that blister because he can very easily puncture it by going out too long. Pirelli tyres don't like to be taken too far.
I think he's
as we've seen,
looking to do the soft, super soft strategy. He wouldn't pit a few laps ago for them mediums to make the most of them.
Indeed. But we know he's got great pace on the super softs, so well, he's got George for very close company right now. So I'm don't think he's going to be able to pull up too much of a fight here.
He pulls away in the first and second sector, but in the third one, George just pulls straight back. I've been noticing.
Yeah, George has been is closer. He's pulled another 3/10 that lap, so I think there's going to be a move this lap, if not next.
He'll be wanting
so he's right up his gearbox there.
Make a move into Brooklands, hopefully, for if George wants to get rid of
George went a bit wide there. Oh, Corey passed Carl there into turn 1, it looks like.
Must have. That just shows that the leaders have caught up to the no stoppers at the moment.
Oh, George! Oh, he's lunging,
contact.
He's lunging! Contact made, but Tom managed just to hold on to it, so alongside George for the lead of the Grand Prix. Is he ahead? Yes!
Very aggressive move.
He had to do something to get past, because he was getting surely a little bit held up there, but I would have to assume now that because George has managed to get past, I would have to think that Tom is going to come in next lap, if not this lap.
All depends on how good he is on them super soft tyres, if he can make them last 11 laps.
Yeah, well, Tom's coming back at him.
Looking back, he doesn't want to hit us early.
He's on 15-lap-old softs, and he's battling with George on 15-lap-old mediums. So there's definitely going to be a tyre deficit. Oh, contact!
Come on, to swipe into the pits, and that's Tom's front wing.
Oh no,
gone.
George, 5-second stop over speeding in the pit lane as well. So Nico comes in.
Very late dive.
After all of that, that means Scott is going to lead the British Grand Prix. He's also on 16-lap-old mediums, which means Corey now goes into essentially the lead of the Grand Prix with Matt behind. Carl has had to come in again. Well, actually, he's coming in for his first stop. He's done the same thing as George and... sorry, he's done the same thing as Wome. So now we have the fourth place being decided with Flexi, Paul, Giroru and Luke. So let's see.
For that last podium space. Sam's got a nice comfy lead though between him and comfy gap between him and Paul in that third place.
Yeah, the same can't be said for Giroru, who's got Luke right behind him, but Luke hasn't been able to get past him, even on the soft tyres. So he's now Luke will definitely stop again, because there's no way he can take those softs to the end, unless he does amazing tyre staving.
Gearbox, or the rear diffuser, sorry, he's really close right there. The camera on his front wing, just inches away from losing a part of his front wing right there. But Giroru and Luke will be wanting to get past Paul, as they seem to have been going faster than him at this moment, but just can't seem to find a way past the Scotsman.
Yeah, Paul has got the widest car in existence, it looks like.
Yeah, but Giroru and Paul brings back bad memories of their battles in Azerbaijan. We would not be wanting to another dive bomb, which would ruin yet another Paul.
Oh, Luke, opportunistic down the inside. So you got the amazing cutback through there. That was a super move.
Did not see that coming on that camera angle. The broadcast camera can be so bad at times.
That was super, I have to say.
Luke making a good move.
Yeah.
Wow.
For once. And I've got evidence of it.
Never would have thought that would have happened.
Yeah, Gerard just went a slight bit wide into Village, so Luke just nipped it down the inside very easily.
Bonus Albert driver making his softs work at this moment, I guess. He's finally got into the groove. He's finally found the grip he needed to get past Giroru, and he'll be looking to push past Paul McGuinness, try and get hopefully as much space, use the clear air for as much as possible, and then his next pit stop in a super soft over he can just push again and finish on a high. But for now he's got to get past Paul.
Yeah, he has one podium to his name currently, which was in Spain. Oh dear, we almost cursed him. He has one podium to his name currently in Spain. He had one in Spain, I think.
He finished third in Spain.
Right, Scott makes his stop from the lead, so that puts Corey back into the lead with Matt in P2 and now Sam in P3. So, this is for P4, this battle between Paul McGuinness, Luke and Giroru.
Paul
So,
will be
that's
wanting.
impressive.
Yeah.
So, Scott went 18 laps on that medium set of tyres, so now he's going to be on the super softs for the rest of the Grand Prix.
Well, Scott definitely went the average distance most drivers do on the mediums for their last stint on his starting stint. So then super softs should work like magic from now to the end for him, hopefully.
Niccolo popped in fastest lap while we were talking there.
Really? I did not see that in the bottom
Yeah.
left corner.
Yeah,
That's how he
popped it in. So now, Luke is actually fighting for P4, but now remember he does have to make another stop. So in reality, he's going to drop a long way back when he makes his stop because the pack is so close together that he's pretty much going to drop to the tail of the field.
The two-stop is an ideal strategy, especially for how long the pit stop can get.
So
That
even
pit
with
lane-
Luke's pace, it's pretty much advantage Paul and Giroru right now.
Yeah, I think Drew's just got to keep behind Luke. Don't bother battling with him, since you'll just lose more time battling Luke, as Luke's got to pit regardless of what's happening. Because unless he can make them softs last to the end, which would be brilliant for Luke.
Yeah,
Without a
but the
doubt.
way he's pushing them, I can't see that.
No. You can
Because
always
he's
see
already,
a
I can already see a blister on the left front. He's obviously running a controller because uneven tyre wear on the controller as well.
Yeah. A lot of people in this.
Oh dear, he almost lost it. I remember he led the Brazilian Grand Prix for a small time last season as well. Which was interesting.
Definitely, to say the least. I think he was also looking on for a win in Austria and bottled that.
Clearly didn't happen.
No.
Right,
I think
now.
He's definitely got to start
Very
pushing now.
close.
Get better exit on.
Good exit.
Paul.
Oh, not bit of a twitch. So not going to quite have it here, but he could into Maggots and Beckett's if Paul McGuinness gets a poor exit, but it's actually Luke who gets a poor exit. So Giroru's alongside towards Maggots and Beckett's, and into Maggots he gets it done, and round the outside into Beckett's he somehow gets that move done.
That
So Paul did it to him earlier, so he's just had a bit of revenge but on Luke, which I'm sure he's delighted about.
That was a move which came out of nowhere, really. It was, I think Drew was just waiting for Luke to make a mistake on them worn softs, and he's managed to take advantage of that situation, and he's pushed himself back up again.
So now he can start challenging Paul.
Though Luke's still not pitting.
Yeah, it's interesting. He might be trying to go to the end.
Definitely looks to be that, which one stop, super soft to softs, pitting as early as he did.
Tom's had a problem. He's hit the wall.
Oh no.
He's lost part of his front wing. Oh, right.
I think he's trying to break off a bit more so it definitely comes off or something. Unless he's just given up.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's going very slowly for some reason. He's like coasting around.
Something must have happened to him. Or we might get footage from his onboard later on in the post-race to see if he get.
Oh, Luke's coming
got an
back towards Cop's corner. He's trying to make his presence known on the outside. This might be a spectacular. No, Giroru shuts the door and shoves him off a little bit there. He was thinking about a move around the outside into Cop's, which would be spectacular. But I can't see how it would end well for anybody.
But Giroru just slammed that door shut, and the force of the door being shut pushed Luke onto the grass.
Yeah, very hard slam.
Definitely some major
forceful
strength.
slam.
Scott's right behind Niccolo though. If he can make the DRS on the Sauber around the outside of Stowe, he could do. Niccolo trying to defend the inside. He's gone down the he's actually trying to go down the inside, but he's just fallen back ever so slightly on the Sauber. I think he'll be waiting for another opportunity to make yet another move on the Sauber. Both Saubers are in the battles today, it seems. Definitely towards this latter stage of the British Grand Prix. Has to be
Indeed.
said.
I just have to start linking up a different channel, so don't mind me.
Tom has gone. Tom is gone. He's coming to the pits to retire. He's given up. Carl will be taking the last points finish.
Car's off, race is over.
Don't think he would have got anything back. He just didn't see any point if there was no reward gained from the situation. But it looks Luke is right on the back of Drew again. He's going to have to follow him through Magnus and Beckett. He's not close enough to make a move on Cops. But if you can get a better exit out of Chapel than Drew, he could make a move back up to 5th. But he's also got to manage his tyres. And that Sauber's softs will surely be dying at any moment now as he's right behind Drew. He's close up massively at Magnus and Beckett. He's got DRS. He's going to go on the left hand side. He's going to try and do it around the outside of Drew into Stowe, round the outside of the Haas. Is he going to be able to make it stick at this moment? He manages just to get in front, but will Drew try to respond back? No, he will not. He will stick right behind the Sauber in the meantime. As Scott is following right behind the other Sauber of Nicolo, going into the same position. But is he? No, he's. Yes, he is actually. He's the same place as Luke tried to make the move on Drew before, as Drew tried to make a move back on Luke.
We got a yellow flag in sector 3.
Carl is gone.
Carl's on the wall. Carl's on the wall.
Get the car out, Carl.
That's a Cops as well. Again, that's the 3rd drive. Oh, sorry, no, it's Abbey. Excuse, or Chapel. Sorry.
Oh dear.
So he's lost it on the curbs somewhere there.
Get to the end, Carl. You still got. You'll still get points if you go to the end. Ooh, has to be said, Luke has fallen back off Paul McGuinness due to battling with Giroux. Ooh. Has that solidified a 4th place finish for the Force India? That might have just finalised their finishing positions in the top 4. Unless any of them make a mistake, it looks to be set in stone. Giroux going a little bit wide, following Luke through Cops. Now going into Magnus and Beckett. He'd be looking for a better exit on Chapel, though he hasn't been doing so recently, as Luke managed to make a move. But it's Luke a bit slidey in front. He might not be close enough to make a move into Stowe on the Sauber.
I wouldn't put it past it.
A dive bomb would be needed to make a move there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely needed.
Goes wide out of Stowe.
Oh, will he try it down the inside? No.
He'll stick right behind him once again. As going around Stowe, Nicolo still has Scott right behind him, who just cannot seem to get past the Sauber. Can't get close enough and can't seem to make his super softs work. That being said, though, he's literally right on his rear diffuser now. Going towards turn 1, might be able to make a move. No, he'll stick behind him once again. From the comment box, Tom has said that George might have something to do with the incident leading to his retirement. As a slide from Scott has forced him back behind Nicola, and he might not be able to get close enough to make a move down into Brooklands. As the other battle just up ahead between Luke and Giroux, with George actually only 9/10 to a second behind them. So he's caught up massively on the squabbling cars ahead, and he might be able to capitalise and make more positions onto the cars in front. As Drew's right behind Luke, he's going to try and follow him through Megs and Beckett. Might need to back out and get a better exit out of Chapel in the Sauber.
Yeah. Oh, we've had George go off in the background as well. So, yeah, here comes Giroux towards Stowe. This will be on the outside. A very familiar move today. And Luke's going to hold it on the inside. And he's have to push Giroux right off the track. And Luke remains in front. So on the final, we've got how many laps? We've got another 3 laps to go.
Just would have to be said, Giroux could have easily lost the car there coming back on, as he looked like he was going to go sideways, but he managed to control his car and put it back onto the track without any harm done.
Indeed.
He will be looking to get past Luke again, though. As
I'm actually impressed that Luke is actually is nursing these softs so long.
Yeah, like, without a doubt, getting this far into the Grand Prix. With how early he pit onto them softs, it got to be said, Luke definitely got to be a contender for driver of the day, making his tyres last this long.
Oh, Giroux's right there, he's looking. George is right behind as well, looking to capitalise on all of this.
We'll look at the positions made.
The yellow in Sector 2.
Ooh. I cannot tell what's
not sure who that is. Oh, it's Carl again. Lost it at Luffield.
Unlucky. Drew following right behind Luke, who has Drew and George in the Luke train. Both
Here we go
to get
then.
Past.
He's only got maybe 2 more chances at this, and look at George right behind as well, slipstreaming off of Luke. Oh, look at George around the outside. Spectacular stuff around the outside. He's had to go off the track, but he has got the move. That was stunning. But here comes Giroru down the inside. Contact made, and around goes Giroru. Somehow, George with a spectacular move around the outside into Stowe Corner. How on earth did he go that late on the brakes?
Does have to be said, he did go very, very wide, and that was sort of like a Max Verstappen Vettel moment. The bumper cars.
Yeah, it was indeed.
So the ping pong comment between Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel. It did look to be an illegal move as he went awfully, awfully wide to get in front. Whether he made the move before he went wide is also another question to bring up.
Can I just say, sorry to interrupt, Corey is leading and is on his way to win the British Grand Prix, but I'm just looking at his tyres. They are very, very worn. I'm just looking at his left front. There is a big blister down the middle. Can you see that just as the light comes onto it there? A big, big blister down the middle. But we're heading on to the final lap. And this is actually kind of a rare occurrence. I've actually stayed until the last lap. Now, I am getting yelled at, but I don't really care because it would be a shame to leave on the last lap. But now I have to kind of conserve my energy and go straight into some more commentary.
Yeah, that would be a bit of an issue. He ran out of breath literally on the first sentence. And 5 red lights and away we go.
George is challenging Luke. This is the final chance he'll get at this. He's going to go down the inside into the arena section. He's going to launch him down the inside. A little bit of wheel banging. I'm going to be right there trying to bang tyres with him, and we're going to see Luke and George side by side towards Brooklands then. Who has the DRS? Luke shoves George right off the track there. Who's going to have DRS? None of them. Neither of them have opened the DRS. Giroru is there as well, and he's looking down the inside into Brooklands. That's a really dicey move. Is Giroru there? Yes, he's on the inside. Giroru's on the inside there. And he's going to wheel bang, bang and shove George right off the track. Can Giroru make up 2 positions in 2 corners towards Copse Corner on the inside? Luke shoves him right up to the wall. It's Schumacher Barrichello stuff. And Giroru launches it down the inside and wheel banging made. And this is just I'm completely out of breath at this point. So Luke holds on. George is there. But meanwhile, coming through the final sequence of corners, Corey is going to win the British Grand Prix for the 2nd time in his career. Well, actually, no, the first time actually. Across the line, wins the British Grand Prix, and with that, I've got to leave because I'm getting yelled at.
See you later, Swoop.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining in the commentary box for the British Grand Prix. He made this Grand Prix definitely as exciting as it could be, as Nicolo defends on the last corner of the last lap against Scott. Scott runs out of fuel coming towards the line to finish in a lowly 9th position. Still though, the 10 people who finished, 10 positions there. Definitely looked to be though that the last battle, I wasn't making any comment as Soup was still commentating over it. Drew and George seemed to have a bit of an incident following Luke, as George carried too much speed going into Copse, hit the back of Drew, leading his front wing to come off, and then coming back in front, he broke Drew's front wing, which led to another broken front wing. But anyway, the podium today is Corey, Matt, and Sam, all for the three steps of the podium being contained by, I do believe, 3 British drivers as well. It's a full British podium. Great result for all 3 teams as well. congrats to Corey. Indeed, the undercut worked both for the Force India and the Red Bull, as the Renault keeping out of any incidents, keeping himself to himself. I guess. Oh, they all have faces. It looks like a looks like a set of triplets up there on the podium. So your top three for today: Corey, Matt, Sam. Paul McGinn is finishing in 4th. Luke's finishing in a surprise 5th, going on the set of super softs to the softs. Very, very surprising from the Dutchman. 6th is Giroud, 7th is George, with a lot of incidents to his name. Nicolo and Scott rounding out the lead lap cars, with Carl cruising down to 10th with a 2-stop. And that is your top 10, as I do believe we will I might as well do a driver interview, since I got asked that in the comments before, so I will add them to the party now. If I have their names anyway. We have Sam, Matt, oh dear, I don't even have his name, do I? Oh no. Oh no, I know. Just give me one moment to get his name up. And then we'll have the driver interviews. Matt, I'm very sorry for the lack of anything at the moment, as I need to add the drivers to the chat. PSN taking its sweet, sweet time as we get the last one of Corey as well. All invited to the chat to see if any of them will actually come in. I doubt many of them will actually come in though, but just in case they do, for a driver interview for any of them. Otherwise, great race overall, really, for the British Grand Prix. As we get Sam. Sam, congrats on the podium, actually. Keeping it out entirely.
Man. Jesus Christ, that was the hardest race I've ever done, honestly. Just the pressure I had from Paul behind as well, just crazy.
It seems you had a massive gap to Matt, who had the undercut on you. I don't think your staying out for a lap longer worked.
No, well, I didn't realise he was going to pit, because we were having a bit of a battle, really. And then he dived into the pits, and I thought, ah, crap, he's going to get the other undercut, sorry. So, yeah, and the pace just wasn't there on the mediums.
But nonetheless, you had a very quick lap of a 1:30, I think, 1:30.9 I saw. You might have been up there, definitely with the quicker laps on the mediums, has to be said.
Yeah, I looked at the end, I didn't realise I went that fast. Like, I don't know when I actually got that lap. So I didn't see it pop up at any point, so...
It wasn't the fastest lap at that point. I think Nicolo might have edged you for that one.
Oh, damn.
Definitely. And Matt also joining in, finishing 2nd. How do you feel about that race, Matt? The undercut seemed to work wonders for you, keeping out ahead of Sam. Did you have any doubt about finishing in 2nd after the pit window? Well, you definitely helped to make that work without a doubt. Anything you both would like to say about the race? Any other comments?
Well, we might have had the battle of the season, to be honest. That was incredible.
Your battle definitely. Once you say that, your battle seemed to get overshadowed by the other drivers behind, as kind of looked at other battles as well. But yours one definitely seemed to be very close in the first stint, without a doubt. As yeah, great battling between both of you. Congrats on your podiums. Definitely, and yeah, congrats. I don't have much to say. As that is the British Grand Prix for ILR2. Not too many incidents compared to Austria, as definitely seen an improvement without a doubt. As we'll catch you for round 11 in Hungary next week for the before the winter break. See you then.